Hey, I'm Richard Marx, and you're watching Imagine TV. Yeah, my dad was a jingle writer and producer, and my mom sang on a lot of the jingles too. So when I was about 5, there was a jingle for some kid, like candy bar, something like that. And my dad, I used to sing around the house all the time, and my dad said, I think I'm gonna get my son to do this commercial. And I loved being in the studio, and so I sort of grew up in the recording studio. I learned a lot from my parents, and I wanted to be a musician ever since I was a little kid. So it was great to have an outlet to do that and learn to be in the studio and work with great musicians and my dad. Most people, you make an album and then you go out on the road and you do shows to promote the album. I just wanted to go out and do acoustic shows because I had never done that before. And I was it wasn't that I was tired of playing with the band, but I just felt like I wanted to do something different. And so I put the acoustic show together and found immediately that I loved doing it. So I started doing it, pretty primarily, pretty consistently. And really early on, the people that would come to the show would be leaving, and they would go up to my sound guy, who's my tour manager as well, Billy, he's out here with me. And every night he would say, "Bud, all these people came up to me and said, where can we buy this music this way?" Well, I didn't make an album, I just was doing shows just for fun. And it was sort of like, uh-oh, I better go make an album. It was completely backwards of what you're supposed to do. If I had to choose, which is kind of silly, I wouldn't have to choose, but if I had to choose, I'd pick songwriting. I love singing and I love doing shows, but writing songs and producing records is creating music, and performing is recreating music. You know what I mean? I love it. I love playing, I love the audiences and all that. But my favorite thing in the world is to create music from scratch. And so I would never want to give that up. This romance. The last couple of albums I bought, Pink's new album, which I really love. Rick Springfield and I have been friends for 30 years, and he's got a new album out that's really good, so I've been listening to that. Sarah Bareilles, Neon Trees. I really love Seether. I really love Foo Fighters. I really love Katy Perry. Civil Wars. There's a acoustic duo called Civil Wars that I think are awesome. There's a rock band called The Afters that I'm a big fan of that I actually just wrote with. There's a new Lifehouse song. I'm a huge Lifehouse fan. I wrote a song on their last album too. Jason Wade, the singer from Lifehouse, is one of my favorite singers, and they have a new song out that I love called Between the Raindrops. You've got me going crazy. I love working with artists who I think I can really contribute and take them maybe in a different direction, or help them find new kinds of ways to do what they do. So with that in mind, I mean, my favorite thing is to work with brand new artists. That's always the most fun thing for me, to help somebody figure out their identity, to figure out who they are. And so that's why a lot of my success, like I wrote and produced Josh Groban's first single. As far as like name artists, if people reach out to me, that's great, and I'll go write with them. I just wrote some songs with Jennifer Nettles from Sugarland, and I think we wrote some really great songs together. And I would never have thought I'd get a call from Jennifer Nettles, so I just never know where they're going to come from. Actually, the Jennifer Nettles thing came from Sarah Bareilles, who's a friend of mine, and she suggested that me and Jennifer, we just wrote a couple of songs together, and I don't know if anything will ever happen with those songs, but just being in the room with her singing was one of the greatest things ever. And she's really funny and she's really sweet, and she's sort of like become a pal of mine, but it's her voice. I think she could be my favorite singer, favorite singer. So there's nothing that she could sing that I wouldn't love. She could sing, the menu to a Thai restaurant, and I'd be like, nice. I'm a huge Sarah fan. I guess it's sort of staying on the team. You know, I always use a sports reference, which is I don't have to be in the starting lineup. I just don't want them to take away my uniform. You know, and so the industry sort of they keep letting me keep my uniform. And it means that every couple of years something will happen, whether I write a song with somebody that becomes a #1 song, or we have, you know, a new run of shows that's successful, or I mean, my success is not on a big scale anymore, you know, not from the old days, but I'm still here, and I'm still doing new music, and I'm still reinventing the old music, and I'm still really busy, you know, in the music business. And I think that's the biggest challenge is to sort of just keep going, keep working, and keep finding new opportunities. I'm going to be promoting the Christmas album up until the end of the year, and then I'll start putting out new music really soon after the first of the year. I don't know that I'm going to do a new album. I think I might just do a thing in America where I just put out 2 new songs every month, you know, because I have a studio at my house, so I can always record and I've got a ton of new songs. So I'll probably just I've been thinking about doing this for a while, like call it New Music Tuesday or something, and then every second Tuesday of every month, there's 2 new songs online that people can buy.